Welcome back to another episode of the Colony at Winter's Pass. Last time,
Uh, I I lied. I said I don't name my deer, and that was a lie. I mean, I tried the numerical thing, and I use that when I'm not alone, but I know. I choose trees. Keep it simple. And those cat creatures ate birch. I should have never left them up alone in such a strange place, especially after that snail and but then we had our own distractions, like finding a mysterious well in the middle of nowhere with a door at the bottom. And the rock below looked right up our alley for the retrieval task, but we ended up staying a while longer, finding apparently the gruesome remains of what was left of the Rockbreaker clan. The once prosperous clan of dwarves. Vitali was the only one who could read anything, though, so you'll have to ask her for details. Uh, there's also the mine they left behind, which I guess had some gold, and I'm not totally concerned with something coming out of while we sleep in this underground death hole. Small concern, manageable. But what's important is we're here and we're safe for now.
awesome. Yeah, so you guys founded a colony, went to go look for some slab rocks, and found a well with nothing around it. And then when you inspected this well, you found a door at the bottom of it. Turns out it was one of the hidden entrances to a rock breaker mine. You tried to get into the vault, and it dropped stuff on you and almost killed you, which was fun, good times. And you guys decided to take shelter down in the mine for the evening, and that is where we're picking up.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys do? You had just entered the mine with all the deer that you had brought with you. You had left the wagon up top.
Ah, okay.
Like to find it like a clear space to take a nap.
Okay. So there is the room with all the skeletons, um, the
Maybe,
hallway.
maybe not the skeleton
Is-
room, just
Yeah,
a,
is
just a
there
thought.
perchance a room that doesn't reek?
Um, yeah, eh. Maybe you could go towards the mine a little bit, but it's a little more cavernous. And by that I mean you can't see the bottom.
Bottom. Okay. How, when you say bottom, is there like a drop off?
There is. Yeah, so if you remember last time I had mentioned that there were um these kind of like counterweights systems
Yes.
that go down
Okay.
into it.
Oh, that's where it goes. Okay.
Hmm.
I can picture this now. Okay. Okay. Does it feel like is the air completely still?
Um, Make a perception check.
Oh, not one. So six.
Yes, it is stifling.
Ugh.
The smell, the air is just stale. It's pretty bad. Even worse the second time now that you've come in.
Oh, good.
Hmm.
This is not ideal circumstances, but shall we somehow make do?
Are there any? Is it lit in here at all?
Nope.
Like,
Oh,
Nope.
are we in
Okay,
darkness?
Mm-hmm.
cool. So I'm going to I want to pull out that copper spear tip that I have,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to cast walls. Where is it? I want to cast magical tinkering and kind of I can use it to imbue a magical object with a magical property. I want to give it 5 foot radius light.
Okay. So you look down at the stuff laying around the dwarves, and you go, okay. And you grab a couple pieces of metal, and you find two that are like magnetic, and you create a makeshift battery that
Hmm.
then heats up a piece of uh, copper and
Hmm.
forms a makeshift light.
Oh, that's really cool.
This is
Cool. I do
extremely
that.
handy.
Yeah. So what do you guys
So how
do?
much light does that produce?
It's about 5 foot radius of dimish light. So I'll say that around this light you can see about 10 feet if you
Okay.
can't see in darkness.
Uh,
Which I cannot see in darkness.
if we could make a fire at least.
Um, where would the smoke go?
And is there anything to burn down here?
I look around uncomfortably at the bodies.
Hmm. They
They are
are
wearing
dry.
flammable.
If you're complaining about the smell now, perhaps best not to burn the source of it. I can only
Hmm.
imagine that will be even worse.
You have a point, but I don't know how much we can depend on. Kresh, how long does your light source last?
um, it will. Hold on. Let me look. Doesn't say.
Oh, forever.
So indefinitely,
Yep.
probably until I imbue something else with
Yeah.
that. So yeah, as
That's a
long as
bit,
I just keep. Go ahead.
bit.
Sorry.
No, I was saying a bit more dependable than I thought. So,
He just kind of gives you this like look.
uh, well, then it really depends on how we intend to make camp.
Yeah. So the way that works, Matt, is that you can create 4 of these objects at a time. When you hit
Okay.
the 5th object, the one that you created first stops working.
Okay, that
Oh,
makes sense.
so you
That's
could
awesome.
make more of these little light creatures.
You could make
I
up to
sure
3 more.
could.
Yeah.
Little
Does
regular
that
light
cost
boy.
you like how many times can you do that a day?
It doesn't. It's just a.
That's your
I
ability?
don't know. Yeah, it's an ability.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very
You could
It's
nice.
just
called.
only you can only have 4 of them working at one time.
Hmm.
Yeah, because it is a tech skill, but it's also slightly magical. So um, your it's like your will is supporting these objects.
Hmm. That's pretty cool.
Hmm.
Now, if only I could have a big old pile of potatoes. This would work.
Uh, is that your other ability?
Mm, no.
Potatoes.
Um, yeah, so you have a number of different rooms. There are the rooms that you found that lead to the secret door. Um, there is the hallway that leads up to the vault, the hallway that leads to the mine, um, and the room with all the dead dwarves in it. So I'm under the impression you guys need to take a long rest.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so let me know where you guys are gonna bed
I'm
down
just
for
gonna
the
be
night.
staying probably by the entrance to kind of guard it
Okay.
slash rest because I'm not a big fan of this enclosed space area.
Fair enough.
Yeah, Vitali's gonna wander in a little bit. Find the spot most suited to fit her size, and she's just gonna plop herself down.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's a number of spots that would fit you. So it really just depends on where you want to go.
Uh, Still probably in the hallway, kind of by Mr. Denal over here.
Okay. And everybody else?
I just want to be somewhere where there's not a giant drop off into a bottomless crevice.
Okay. So the hallway with uh, uh, Vitali and Eldon.
That sounds good to me.
Okay. And then I assume everybody else is sticking together with everybody else.
Yes, I am examining my remaining deer
Yeah.
to see their health.
One of them does have a big old gash in its side.
Yes.
The other two are fine.
Did my Okay, so I was able to staunch the blood, though I was.
Oh yeah, you did healing on it, right? Or did you? I can't.
I didn't do healing yet. I was waiting to see if it was
Yeah,
like
you did manage to
necessary.
stop the blood, and
Okay.
it will heal on its own.
Okay.
Um, but if you don't heal it, you might want to be careful about it pulling a wagon
Right. Okay.
because it would probably reopen the wound.
Fair. Fair. Uh. Fair. Okay. I'll hold off on healing at the moment. But
Okay.
also, is there nothing to burn besides the bodies? Like, is there no chairs?
Yeah,
Is
there's like there are some old wooden furniture pieces down in the sleeping quarter area that y'all had passed through. But it's very old, very dry. As a matter of fact, some of the stuff that you touched had crumbled pretty much instantaneously. So
Damn it.
you might be able to pull some up. I'd say you could, yeah. It would just be a little bit tedious and would burn very quickly.
Maybe more trouble than it's worth.
I mean, there's
Uh,
also like trees outside.
there is outside. Are we interested in having a fire?
I mean, again, the only question I would posit is where does the smoke go?
I mean, we're at a mine, so
We're at the top of it.
then there is no airflow.
Not that you noticed.
Does anyone else notice an airflow? um,
I'll roll. Can I roll perception, I guess, or investigation?
It's pretty still.
Okay.
As far as you can tell, there's not an airflow that would be discernible.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna shake my head like,
damn it. All right. Well,
Although I will say, make an intelligence check, Crash.
okay. 14.
14. Yeah, it's pretty obvious to you that without an airflow, you would all be suffocating fairly quickly.
Mm,
well,
well, shit.
do I happen to have any leaves on me from that little snail encounter earlier?
The snail encounter
I guess that
was
was not earlier. That was a while ago.
yeah. I mean, it would take you nothing to walk outside and grab wood and whatever else you wanted to grab.
And I kind of just want to be useful while we're down here. Depends on what else we're doing. I don't know. I'm just restless.
Well, I mean, we do need to start taking chunks out of this stone floor.
Ah, that is the whole point we came down here. Crash, you have a good point. Maybe perhaps we should examine how it is. Is it easy to remove?
It is very old. You think that if you had the right equipment, you could probably pry up some of these stones pretty easily.
The right equipment, like
Take
a
my,
chisel and him?
I'll take my
Chisel and
crowbar
hammer,
out of my bag.
crowbar. Yep, that'll work.
Crowbar? Yes, you had that
Like,
crowbar.
getting
I have
your
a crowbar.
fingers up underneath this would probably not be easy, but if you have stuff to do that, then it shouldn't be too difficult.
Yeah, I have a crowbar as well, so I can help.
Okay.
I will hand over my crowbar to someone, and in the meantime, I'm going to be going through every entrance that I know of to this mine area, and try to booby trap it in some way. Like I have ball bearings that I'd like to set down, and I have a bell that I'd like to put on a string to hang across like an entryway
Okay. So are you talking about entrances to the mine that you know about, or to the hallway that you're in?
to the mine.
Okay, easy enough. There's the two that you know of: the big door that you entered through, and the secret door that you exited.
I'd like to try to booby trap both.
Easy enough. It's done.
Okay.
Did you find anything while you were over there?
To be perfectly fair, I wasn't looking for much of anything. I will say, I am not 100% certain that we are alone out here. It might have been.
Cat's up there, but you think there's something down here?
It's hard to say. For a split moment before the doors shut behind us, I thought I saw a figure out in the woods.
I
A
totally.
bipedal figure.
Sorry, I have to interrupt. I totally thought you were gonna say I thought I saw a pussycat, and I was gonna lose my shit.
I did. I did saw a putty tat.
Well, yeah, we all taught too. That's why I'm. Jeez. Oh my god. Okay.
Sorry for the interruption. Continue.
Where were we?
You thought you saw something.
I guess.
I'm fairly certain I saw something that looked roughly human-esque out in the woods before the door closed.
And like watching?
So far as I can tell.
Do you think anyone from the village would have followed us?
I can't see why they would, and if they did, I can't see why they wouldn't have just called out to us before we ducked away into this little hidey hole.
You make a fair point. I guess we have a few things to worry about out here. What a dangerous little well. Okay.
I would caution against leaving if we don't need to until morning.
I agree.
Well, yeah, it gives us time to at least gather some of these rocks.
Yes, we can prepare for a swift journey home. So, who has the crowbars?
I have one. I don't know who has the other.
I had the other.
All right.
Oh, you said you gave it to someone?
Yeah, I handed it off to someone.
Okay. While he was placing those booby traps, I guess we could have been prying it.
Yeah. We can say that y'all were doing that.
We're just watching him place the booby traps. Like, good job.
These rocks are not small, but you're not moving very far to pry them up. So who's going to be doing the prying?
I can.
I'm not
I
the
can
strongest,
try.
but I can try. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make a strength check for me.
Oh, All right. 5.
18
Oh Jesus.
is a good roll for once.
Crash, you keep trying to pry one up, and it keeps falling back down into place. And you just watch as Sildaloon pries up a number of these things with ease.
He's just kind of like, all
Oh man,
right.
those protein shakes Lori was giving me really have been, huh? Um. Okay, so we have one up.
No. I'll say
It's loose. It's
over the
loose.
course of um like an hour and a half, you get enough to cover a decent space. Once you get the first one up, it's pretty easy to pry up the next one and then the next one.
Nice, nice.
So as you're prying up these stone tiles, you do notice that underneath every couple of feet or so there is a pipe that seems to be running underneath the floor.
Pipe.
Hmm.
Can what's
And it
the
it
what's the
has small holes drilled through them here and there.
on purpose?
Hmm.
Is there any way I could investigate to see if I know what these could be used for?
Sure.
Hey, you're
Okay.
the architect here. Well, what are we looking at?
That's a dirty 20.
You look at it and you kind of get close, and you do your your tinkerer thing where you like knock on it and you listen to it, and then you taste the metal a little bit to see what kind of metal it is,
Hmm.
and then you take a big whiff and you're like, ah, fresh air.
Oh, okay.
Um,
So these are ventilation pipes.
Ventilation pipes.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Maybe we can
Cool.
get
So
some.
we won't die.
Yeah,
So
that's a relief. Are they under? You said every third one, or?
Yeah, it's I didn't. There's not a distance that I quoted, but it's
Oh,
every set distance of maybe every 30 feet or so.
okay. There's multiple air holes, so.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh boy. Okay. Breathe that non-corpse air.
I mean, it still smells.
Yes, but different.
No, it still smells of corpse, but
Oh well.
like you're getting a mixture of corpse up from the hallway and fresh air from the pipe.
She's like leaning to sniff this pipe like it is cocaine. Just like get that fresh air. Okay. Um. Well, what else do we do? We got these pipes. We got these rocks up.
Yeah. So it takes you
Mhm.
another hour and a half to get the tile that you think you're gonna need, and you've got traps set at the entrances. Um, and at this point, after having gone back outside and coming back in, it is fairly late.
I'm ready to call it.
Okay. So you all bed down. Anybody
Mhm.
keeping watch?
I'll stay up.
Okay.
I'll take second watch.
Okay.
I'll take third.
So you all
Generous.
crash down in the area that you had been pulling up the tile in this hallway, and go ahead and roll a perception check for me, or a scene.
Ooh, that's an 8.
An 8. With your dark vision, you look down. This is about halfway through your watch. You look down towards the um, area with the dead dwarfs, because there's no other area for you to be keeping watch, and you see a figure walk past the entranceway in that room.
going to be wide awake after that.
Mhm.
I'm going to. Who was taking second shift after me?
I am. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm going to kind of nudge you on the shoulder just to wake you up. And I'm going to nod and point in the direction that I just saw this figure. And I'm going to say, there's most certainly something or someone down there.
Eladon, you look down the hallway and you can't see the room from where you're at.
I've got dark vision as well.
Not that far.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm
so your
gonna-
companion is a drow. He is used to the
Oh,
dark.
gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kind of nod. I'm gonna slowly stand up and try and move in where I can see.
Okay. So you start walking towards the room. Orsine, do you walk with him?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so the two of you walk down to this room, and you look around, and I mean, it looks like all the dwarves are still exactly where you left them. Nothing seems to have been disturbed.
You sure you saw something?
Quite certain. It was brief. It moved from one side of my vision to the other at the end of this hallway, but I know I saw something.
Well, whatever it is, it's not here now. Let's head back. I'll just keep watch.
Okay. So you head back. So this hallway is approximately 120 foot long.
Okay.
So you can see about halfway down. Orson, do you go to sleep?
I don't need as much sleep as the others, so I'm going to stay up and kind of help out with the second watch.
Okay. Both of you roll perception checks.
It's even worse. That's a 6.
That is a not much better, an 8.
Okay. Everything seems to pass just fine. Not anything out of the ordinary. And who is taking the third watch?
That'll be me.
Okay. So after the watch ends, it comes to Vitali's watch, and Vitali, go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
We definitely let her know what we saw or what he saw.
Yeah,
Okay.
and before I go to bed, I'm going to set down more ball bearings at the entrance to the hallway,
Okay.
just in case.
Sure. What'd you roll, Vitali?
I didn't roll yet. I don't have dark vision. Does that make a difference?
Yes. Yes, it does. It means you can't see.
Okay. Well, that said, I got a 16.
Okay. You can't see. You can see about 10 feet from the light source that Crush made.
Can I listen real big?
Yeah, you don't hear anything. There you do hear a slightly small hissing sound, which you ascertain is coming from the pipes.
That tracks.
Yeah. Yeah. So Orson,
Mm-hmm.
you are asleep and you feel somebody shaking you awake.
I'm up like a bolt with daggers in hand.
You wake up, and as soon as you open your eyes, you see the decaying face of a dwarf inches from your face.
Okay. No sudden movements. Is it aggressive? I mean, you just said it shook me awake, right?
Uh-huh.
Is it looking to attack?
It seems Well, it's definitely like dead. It's a little hard to read. So roll an insight check for
Fair.
me.
Fair enough.
Is it biting me in the face? Yes or no?
Is
It's
it
a 14.
frowning?
A 14.
Yeah.
You're not real certain, but it is getting closer. And it begins to open its mouth wider and wider.
Yeah, fuck that. I'm gonna swishy stab it.
Okay. You rolled a hit for me.
Oh, let's see here. Ooh, not great. 11.
11. Vitali, you watch as Orison suddenly grabs his knife from its sheath and stabs up into the air. And Orison, it's at that moment that you wake up.
You doing all right there?
Gonna look around very confused. There was no undead dwarf here, was there?
Can't see very well, but I haven't seen nothing.
Can I see anything nearby?
You don't see anything nearby.
Going to continue to look around very alarmed, but slowly just kind of lay back down.
Okay.
Very perturbed.
The rest of your sleep is very fitful, but you manage to get in your rest, and eventually, Vitali, you realize that it's time for everybody to get up, and you start waking people up. And what do you guys do? You all get your long rest.
Sally grabs one of the stones and sees about hauling it up the stairs to the well.
Okay. Vitali,
Yeah, I'm gonna help
it
Vitaly.
is no problem for Vitali to carry one of these on her own.
Oh boy, it's a
She's ready
horsepower.
to roll and everything.
Yeah, don't even need to roll.
Do the rest of us have any particular dreams?
Nope.
No? Okay. Well, I'm just watching Vitali hoist this up effortlessly. Damn impressed. Wow. You don't even need protein shakes. Jeez, okay.
She kind of like shakes her metal shoulder at you. This helps.
I'll leave that to you. You're the professional here. Do you gonna? Should we grab the rest of these or?
You're gonna make me do all the work?
Of course not. I mean, you were. Should I bashfully like go to grab another one? So I'm like, I'm
Roll a strength check.
not. Just doing so well. I was encouraging you. 17.
17. Yeah, you're able to move one. It's a little bit harder for you, but not. You pick it up and it's not too bad.
My shoulders are in metal. I gotta use the old flesh bag.
I guess I'll give it a try too. See if I can redeem myself.
Right, roll strength.
All right.
Yeah, give it a shot.
Yeah, that's a 10. The same thing.
Um, you pick up half of it, but you can't seem to get it off the ground fully.
I'm gonna try and help him.
Yeah, with help, the two of you can pick up
Okay.
this piece.
Do I need to roll anything or?
Nah, not with two of you.
Okay, cool.
Yay.
After a little while, you guys load up your wagon, and you have enough tile, you think, to have a fairly big stone surface to set up the teleportation circle.
Okay.
Okay, we have two things to do now. I must heal my deer if let's see. Ash? No, Aspen. Aspen is the injured one. Um, I must heal if they're going to pull anything, correct?
Yeah, the injured one, you think if it were to pull a wagon, it would probably rip open the wound.
Absolutely understandable. I would not want them to work under duress anyways.
Yeah.
Then can I apply a cure wounds?
Yeah, absolutely.
Does my deer have hit points?
They do. Just for the purposes of this, though, we'll say that the cure wounds heals it up enough that it won't be an issue for it.
Okay, cool.
I'm going to spend a few minutes to go and collect my bell and string and my ball bearings before we leave.
Okay. So you are walking through this place alone?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. You go and you're walking towards the secret door to grab your trap that you had put in place. And as you get to the point in the mine that is the T section, so there's the stairs that go down, and there's the vault ahead of you. The caved in area with the rooms that you found the secret room into your left and the mine to your right. Um, as you're turning left to go to the sleeping room area, um, you hear a noise down um, down the walkway to the vault door.
What can I tell what the noise is?
It sounded like somebody walking. What do you do?
I'm going to very quietly and try to be stealthy about it, but go inspect the source of the noise.
Okay. You peek around the corner and you are watching as a figure approaches the vault. And you watch as he presses certain runes in a particular order.
I'm paying very close attention to the order that he's pressing them in. Can I see it from my vantage?
You can roll a perception check.
Oh God, I got to do better than I've been doing. That's better. 18.
18. You very clearly see this random assortment of Dwarven letters. And then you watch this figure step through this solid vault door.
Okay, I'm going to commit the sequence that he hit the runes into memory,
Mhm.
and then I'm gonna head back to the group.
Okay.
Uh,
As you're heading back to the group, you glance one more time towards the vault door, and the figure is standing in front of it, looking right at you.
I'm gonna eye it for a few seconds, and then I'm gonna head back to the group.
Okay. Cool.
Holy shit!
So the rest of you, you are all up on the surface. You've been loading up the wagons, and yeah, what's going on?
I can't imagine anything special.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the dilemma. We started with 4 deer. Are 3 deer able to pull?
The stone is pretty heavy, and the amount of it that you have collected to get the spacing that you require is a lot. So you have it in 2 wagons. You think you would need something else to help pull the second wagon.
Perhaps a horse?
I was gonna say I
Of
side eye
course.
at Vitali.
Would it be I mean, I would myself take the place of the deer, but I can only do it for an hour, and well, we are so far.
Luckily for you, I'm a horse full time. And she hops into the straps.
Excellent. The
We are
deer.
blessed.
Which deer is on that wagon?
Uh, I will put let's see. I will put Oak on that wagon because Oak is sturdy.
Okay. Oak. Oak looks over at you, Vitali, and is like, "The hell."
Uh, Vitali kind of does that like head tilt and a nod, like, "Hey, what's up?"
The deer nods back at you, and
If we're gearing up to head out, I'm gonna scout ahead a bit.
okay, make a perception check for me.
Okay. That is a nat 20, so 21.
21. You scout ahead, and you don't see anything that's actually a threat per se, but you do see tracks of these cats that are all over this area. Um, and you are pretty sure that this is like in their territory.
Okay. So then I'm gonna make sure that I not. So make sure I can stay within like earshot of the caravan, but I'm gonna continue to just keep an eye out and stay ahead.
Mm-hmm. Easy
Uh,
enough.
hey, Vitali.
Mhm.
While I'm thinking about it, uh, do you heal any differently with your particular body? I'm just trying to make note of the best way to approach things with everyone.
Uh, I heal? I'm not sure I understand the question.
Well, I mean, you're quite a lot of metal.
I
I
mean,
was,
you just fix it.
I see.
If it gets dented, I repair it.
Huh, you
Or if
just
it
sell
gets
repairs.
really dented, then Monona repairs it. But for the most part,
That makes sense. Good to know. I admit I'd be better at keeping your organic side alive better, but good to
coincidentally,
know.
that's the part I'm worst at keeping alive. And she kind of grins.
Well, that's also good to know. All right, she makes note, literal, in a book.
Excellent. All right, so you're all up at the wagons. What do you do?
Well, I
Are we
think we should
heading
head back.
back?
Yeah, this was
Okay.
my understanding.
So you start heading back, and it takes another 3/4 of a day. So you get there just before sundown, and
Sorry, along the path, I would also like to look out for any particular plant that stands out to me, something that things that look familiar, but also things that look completely weird.
make a nature check.
10.
10. I mean, you see those vines, and the one of the things you do notice is that some of these trees in this area also have this odd coloring to them.
And they don't look, do they not have the same similarity leaves as the things that I found previously? Do they look similar at all?
No, the leaves were specific to the vines.
Okay.
They have similarities in the fact that there are colors running through the trees that like look familiar to you. Like the trees themselves look familiar to you as far as like what kind of trees they are, but then
What
some of
colors?
them have odd colors
Hmm.
that you wouldn't expect. So pinks and purples, things like
Okay.
that.
If I could, I would just like to get some of the plants, divide them into color,
Okay.
and take them with.
Yeah. I mean the trees are fairly big.
Well,
Um,
not the plant. Yeah, I would only collect leaves from that.
leaves are doable. Yeah.
Yes. Oh,
Easy
bark
enough.
as well.
Okay. Yeah. I mean it seems like normal bark. It seems like normal leaves, just odd colors. Yeah.
Those
Um,
like
as you guys get back to town, um, you just notice that the whole colony is busy working on the buildings that you had uh, set up to build. Um, and you notice that uh, Laura Leanne is outside cooking some of the slug up. Um, and
smells good.
yeah, it's you guys didn't have a whole lot to eat.
Better
Or
than
I guess
cook.
y'all took rations. So, but yeah, it's snowing. The children are out playing in the snow, but everybody else seems just busy at work.
How's
What
the
do you?
construction going?
It's only been a few days, so it looks
Okay.
like they've got spaces cleared, ready to go, and they're starting to put um, a flooring over the area that you dug out for a cellar, and they are yeah. So they've got things cleared, and it'll be another uh couple days for them to build out the
It's all
town
going to
hall and the
schedule.
food storage, and then another week or two before they're done with the forge.
Well, and you can get to work.
I'm gonna go check in with Aetherwolf and let him know what we found, update our maps, all that fun stuff.
Yeah. So Aetherwolf is pretty excited that you guys found this stone, and he starts asking questions about uh, where you found it, and because it's like perfectly smooth, level stone. Um, and yeah, so he then points out an area that he thinks it would be good to have this set up near the town hall building that you're building, um, and starts asking you guys to help him arrange the stones so that he can start uh, drawing out his teleportation circles.
Okay.
But
Gonna
now?
start helping him.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
while they're doing that, I'm wondering if I recall the last session we discussed there were some dwarves in the group.
Yep,
All right.
there is two dwarves in the group. Um, let me pull up.
One is the captain, isn't it?
Hold on, I forgot to open up that document, so give me 2 seconds.
Dun, dun, dun,
There is Adia Stonewall, who is the captain of the guard,
dun.
and then there is Spreck Stonewall, who is a mason. So he's actually helping you guys make sure that when you put these tiles down, that they'll be level.
What
Huh.
was the first name again?
Adia, Addia,
There is also Monona.
and then Monona, who is
Ah,
uh, Vitali's friend.
Well, I'd like to track down Adia if I can while they're working on that.
Okay. She seems to be pacing out areas that might be good for watchtowers.
Okay. I'm
So
gonna.
she's kind of at the edge uh, of the colony at the moment.
I'd like to flag her down then if I could.
She looks over at you and goes, yes.
Yes, Adia. I was wondering if you could take a look at this for me, and I take out of my bag the crown of Oryx, son of the king that we found.
Okay. She looks it over and she goes, it's gold.
Yes, we had surmised as much.
Uh, she looks a little harder and then she goes, and looks
Well,
like a hat.
we found it on the corpse of a presumably long dead dwarven prince in a mine that was labeled Rockbreaker Clan Gold Mine, or at least partially labeled. Do you know anything about this? Are you familiar with the Rockbreaker Clan at all?
She stops and thinks for a second and goes, rock breakers were gold miners, but they disappeared. Presumably deep into the mines.
Yes, we came across a few of the remains of them. It would appear.
How unfortunate for them. Anything useful in the mine?
Potentially, we found part of the mines themselves, and there seemed to be quite a bit of gold still left in the veins. As a resource, it would be invaluable, obviously, but there were certain areas left untouched as of yet. But the
Do you
more I'm
need
thinking
warriors
about
to
it,
help search it out? We could send some of the guard.
I mean, we definitely need it searched. I'm concerned over what they might find. However, there were spectral entities, as far as I could tell. I was having odd visions or dreams, or I'm not sure what they were, but they weren't very pleasant, and I fear there might be something a little bit more dangerous to be found delved deeper.
Did you do any drugs?
No, no, I
I
have
find
not.
when I see things, it's because I did drugs.
Well, good thing you're the captain of the guard, then, I suppose.
In my youth, you know.
Well, thank you very much for your assistance. If you think of anything else, please inform me.
Yes. This location. And then she points at another location and she starts talking to you about where she thinks the guard tower should go.
I guess I'll spend some time discussing it with her then.
Okay. Yeah, so she's kind of like, I mean, we can send guards if you want. Like, she doesn't really care about the mine all that much, or the
Fair enough.
crown. She's more concerned about the safety of the colony. Um, but yeah, she gives you a couple locations for guard towers, if and suggests that you build them sooner rather than later.
Duly noted. I guess I'll go back to the group.
Okay, yeah. So about like 45 minutes later, after having walked around with her, you return to the group who is helping set up the stone with Spreck, who is like got a level out and he's like packing down the earth underneath where you're putting these stones, and uh, it looks like they got a head start before you got back, so he's just making final adjustments as y'all are laying the tile down, and then putting like a sealant between the tiles to make it so that they're um, completely smooth over the top without any crevices.
No, you want to be specific.
Well, you see, I do my best to be perfect.
That is important for
Yes.
the teleportation
If
as well, right?
just everything in life, if you don't do it right, it's not worth doing.
Well, that's a way to look at it. Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm not perfect at a lot of things, but
The pursuit is a worthy goal.
yes. As long as you try, really.
Well, try and become better.
Yeah. Yeah, ultimately. Anyway, are those rocks looking real nice?
He just says, "Of course they are."
Okay.
Now, where did you get them?
Uh, from a from a dwarven mine.
Well, yes, of course, I could tell that by the cuts. But where?
Oh. About yay back. How far back was it? I looked for someone in my group.
I marked it on my map, so I'll just take out the map that I had
Ah,
taken
yeah,
and show him on it.
he's more
Ah,
specific.
were there dwarves?
Dead ones, long
Yeah.
since.
Interesting. Well, perhaps we can get more stone from there. They are the best stone cutters. Uh, dwarves, I mean. He looks a little
Yeah.
smug. Could
Not
be
gonna
useful
argue.
for some of our buildings.
Yeah, they were. Vitali was saying she could come back with reinforcements, maybe understand it better. Didn't really know what I was working with down there.
And besides, there was more of the mines and the caverns left undiscovered.
Right. The mines. What was in the mines?
Gold.
Gold, you say? Oh. A valuable resource indeed.
And eat it.
No, but once we have the teleportation circle up, we'll be able to export it in mass.
Was that the goal?
Resources back to the king, of course.
I don't know. I'm
No,
surprised.
you're one of the leaders of this colony. I'm surprised you don't know this.
I mean, I didn't read the fine print as far as what the king was interested in with the research. Anyway,
He looks a little concerned.
I'm more concerned with this overall, and then she widely gestures to the people working on the town.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay. Um, it's a 7.
He just kind of looks at the rest of your group and goes, "Right, very
You know
good."
what? I don't have to prove anything to you. She stomps up.
All right.
I'm gonna go find
So
my family.
it takes the rest of the evening and part of the next day to get this stone laid out the way it needs to be. Um, and once you have the stone laid out, the next day, uh, Sir Aether uh, draws out some chalk on the stone, and he kind of looks over all of you, and he goes, Is there anybody who wishes to go back um, to pick up any supplies?"
Vitaly raises her hand.
All right. Um, when you get there, you'll need to have somebody send you back. It can be dangerous, as they've never been here before.
Not a problem.
Okay. Um, Anybody else? Okay.
No.
So he opens up one of the scrolls that was in the chest, and he starts reciting some things, and then the scroll lights up, and the light seems to burn the scroll away, and then the chalk on the stone begins to glow as well. Um, and then Vitali, if you would like to go back, you'd have to step through.
Hops on through.
Okay.
I am just watching.
She steps through the into the circle and is gone, and then the chalk on the stone disappears, and there's just a tiny outline, just barely visible, of what looks like the residue of that chalk circle. It looks like it has slightly burned into the stone, ever so slightly.
Huh.
Vitali, you appear in the capital city, um, and you're in the palace, in the courtyard of the palace, and there are a number of guards who are stationed around this um, teleportation circle that is embedded in the ground. Um, and they all look at you for a second, and then you're a fairly recognizable person due to your mechanical arms and legs. So when you come through, one of them stands up and goes, "Ah, Master Vitali, what do we owe the pleasure? How is the colony going?"
Colony's fine. We found all sorts of cool things. I'm here to buy supplies.
Okay, what we can take you down to the market, and what exactly are you looking for?
Hmm, food mostly, I think. Perhaps some building supplies as well.
Okay. Um, what kind of supplies? What
Stonework?
are you looking for?
Perhaps some
Stone.
wood reinforcements.
Okay. Is there not
Masonry.
trees or stones?
There are. We should speed the process along, though.
Okay. Very well. Are you looking for brick then?
Yes, I don't see why not.
All right. And very good. So he leads you down into the city, and then out of the city, and you get to what looks like a warehouse area near a river. And he takes you up to um, some of the. Uh, it's like essentially like a wholesale area, and they've brought on a couple of wagons. And he goes, "Well, please, uh, there's a few different merchants here. Please, take your pick."
Vitali would, like, canonically know who makes the best stuff. Yes?
Yeah, yeah, for the most part, yeah.
I'm gonna hit that person up.
Okay. You walk up to this turtle, and they're sitting behind a big counter, and behind them there are just a number of different smelters and what looks like um, ovens for baking bricks, and then down in the warehouse there's other supplies. And the turtle just kind of slowly turns to you and goes, "Yes." blinks one eye, then blinks the other.
I'm looking for supplies for the colony. Winter's Pass?
Okay. What are you looking to buy? Blinks one eye, blinks the other.
Bricks and building supplies.
Very well.
Whatever you can spare.
Quantities? Blinks one eye, blinks the other.
Many.
That is. I. Well, yes, I would assume. Blinks one
Approximately
eye,
one or
blinks
two
the.
homes worth?
Okay. Very well. And how will you be paying? Blinks one eye, blinks another.
She shrugs and points at the gentleman that brought her here.
The guard that brought you here looks at you and goes, "Oh, I will."
I am under the king's command. Is he expecting me to pay for all of these?
Yes, that you were supposed to bring back things to trade.
And a band. What exactly was he expecting me to bring back?
Different resources to help support the war effort.
It's the dead of winter.
Well, I mean, it is a bit surprising to see you back already, asking for supplies. But did the
Again,
ships
the dead of
sink?
winter. No?
Okay. I suppose we could loan you some. Um, and he kind of nods at the turtle, and the turtle blinks one eye, blinks the other, and then nods. Um, and kind of points at a couple of people in the warehouse, and they start loading up your wagons. And then the turtle is like marking down a number of the different supplies and hands the guard a bill. And the guard nods and goes, "Yes, the payment will come from the palace. We'll we'll get it taken care of." So you have probably 2 wagons of bricks and like full of bricks, and 2 wagons full of lumber.
Cool. Alright. And what of food? Any perishables? Any non-perishables, I suppose?
Um, yes. Did the food in the ships go bad?
Presumably not. But again, it is cold. We cannot farm.
Yeah, but
You expect us to hunt all of the animals into extinction?
No, but you were sent with supplies to last you through the winter.
Vitalia is going to continue to stare because that had not occurred to her.
He goes, very well. So they call for one more wagon and they fill it with similar supplies to what you guys already have.
Oh, them so much.
That's going to be good enough for her. She's not going to push that one because she does kind of realize that was on her.
Okay. He marks it down and he gets a receipt for it as well. He goes, yes, well, here's the bill. When you return with resources, hopefully by the end of a year of being in the new land, um, we can settle the matter of the loan.
Just to be clear, one more time, what sort of resources are you expecting us to find?
Gold, precious metals, things like that.
And she
Once you
makes her
have your
exit.
food or your farms established, any additional food from the farms?
We can send back whatever we don't need.
Yes, that is the idea.
Anything else?
No, we'll have to wait for the night and then call the wizard down to attempt to send you back. You can stay in the barracks for the evening.
That's fine.
All
And
right.
she goes.
All right. They take the wagons back up next to the teleportation circle, and yeah, you spend the night. And what's everybody else doing while she's in the capital city?
Just gonna be helping around, helping the city where they need me.
Okay.
Are they starting to build the guard towers and stuff?
Not yet.
Okay. I had an idea, but that will come later.
Yeah. So right now they are working on the town hall, food storage area, and the forge.
Cool. I'm going to be hanging out with my family,
Okay.
shooting basket potatoes with the kid.
Okay.
I'm going to spend time getting the stains out of my armor.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. But with a day of work, you can manage to get the stains out.
That was a long time coming.
Yeah. Um.
Before I leave, oh sorry, here's.
No, go ahead.
I want to ask Sprack, uh, does the stone degrade over time?
Yes, but it is a matter of millennia.
Oh, okay. So we don't have to worry about like replacing these after a certain amount of teleports.
No.
Okay. Okay. Then yeah, then I will also spend time with my family and rambunctious children.
Okay. Um. As you guys all bed down for the night, Orson, make a perception check.
Ah, goddamn ghosts.
Hmm.
Oof. I am not rolling well tonight. 9.
So you are walking through the town, or the huddle of somewhat made buildings that you guys are starting to build up, and for a split second, you think you see a figure out, like standing out near the tree line.
I'm going to peer closer to see if there's anything I can discern. Just double checking to see if I actually saw something or if my eyes are just playing tricks on me.
You take another look and nothing there, or at least as far as you can see.
Just kind of look cautiously for another few moments and go about my business.
Okay.
But I'm very much on edge at this point.
Yeah. When you are in the colony, there are guards who will keep watch at night for you, so you don't have to do watches. Um, as you all go to sleep, it's at this point there's nowhere in, like there's no building to sleep in, so you do all sleep in the ships still. It is the warmest place. Uh, but Orson, you again feel something shaking you awake.
I wake up and I'm sleeping with a dagger under my pillow.
This rotting, decrepit dwarf is standing above you, and in his hand is an axe, and he raises it as if about to swing down. What do you do?
I ask him, "What do you want?"
He swings the axe down, and it cuts through the um, the lines that are holding your uh, uh, oh wow, what's the word?
Hammock.
Hammock. Thank you.
Hmm.
In the ship, and you are suddenly awakened as you are on the ground with a ripped hammock.
This does not bode well. I'm assuming my wife is with me. Is she all right?
Yeah, your wife is on the ground with you, and she's like, "Ow!" And then she looks at the dagger in your hand, and she goes, "What did you do that for?"
It was not me. There's something afoot, something amiss. But I need you to stay calm. I'm going to figure this out. And I'm going to get up, going to get dressed, and I'm going to go find the others in the group.
Okay, it is the middle of the night, so it's not too hard to find them since they're all in the ship with you.
Just one at a time, wake them all up.
You are all awoken.
Ugh, I don't want to be. Orson, what's going on?
There is something very wrong happening, and I seem to be the only one who is noticing. No,
There's something very wrong happening. It's the middle of the night, and you're waking us up.
yes,
Yeah, that's true. What's
yes. And I
why?
apparently just had a dream that a long dead, rotted dwarf was standing over me with an axe and cut my hammock. And when I woke up, it was because I fell on the ground due to the hammock being ripped. Ever since we
Oh,
got back, ever since we got to that well, I've been seeing visions of this dwarf, this dead dwarf. And I thought maybe once we left the well, it would cease, but it seems to have followed me back. I think we need to get back to that well and finish
finish.
figuring out whatever secrets it has.
I mean, wait. You said a dwarf. Was it the same dwarf?
It was a dead dwarf. Of that I am certain.
Oh, was it? I mean, a dead dwarf's a dime a dozen. Does it look the same always?
Did it? I don't know if I actually noticed if it was the same or not.
Uh, make a history check to see if you can remember if it.
17.
Yeah, it looked like the same figure.
Did it look like the figure that I took the crown off of?
Um, it did not.
Okay.
Well, make a perception check for me.
11.
Yeah. You're not certain.
It was the same dwarf every time. But I don't know who it was.
Okay. Well, that's something. Maybe. I just don't. Do you think there's something? What do we need to do back at the mine?
When I was gathering my booby traps and items, I had, I don't know if it was a vision. I was awake. It must have been something along those lines. Perhaps it was a specter, a ghost. It was in the room with the runed door, the one that you have to push the runes in the certain order, and it showed me the order in which these runes needed to be pressed and then passed through. It was almost as if it was guiding me, telling me this is what we have to do. And I didn't say anything, because I thought there's always time to come back to it. But now it doesn't seem like it has as much patience as I do.
Well, oh boy, you see a lot of weird stuff, huh, Orson?
This is quite new for me.
Well, I hope it's a short stint. Man, do we have to go right this sec? I mean, it did attack you. That is, I don't like the idea of it coming in here. Do you think, is it still here?
I look around. Do I see it?
Make a perception check.
Okay. That's a 6.
You do not.
Huh. Okay. Do I perceive, I mean, I look around. Has anything changed? Is it just a regular old ship?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it looks
Nothing
all
is, it's
ordinary to
quiet,
you. Yeah.
weather's chill.
Mm-hmm.
I would not suggest that we pack up right this second and leave, but first thing in the morning, I think it's within, at the very least, mine and my own's best interest to go take a look and further examine and figure this out.
I think it sounds like it's probably a good idea. Just
Agreed.
may want to wait till Vitality gets back. Hopefully. Back soon.
Yeah. Hey, Jack. Check your cable.
Oh, it may just because I'm talking quiet.
Um.
Should definitely ask her about it, though. Maybe she knows about some dwarf curses.
Well, hopefully she's back soon then.
Right. Well, do you want me to make you some like sleepy time tea? Maybe that'll help with your dreams.
I appreciate it, but I think I'm just going to try to stay awake for now.
All right. Well, okay, and I immediately turn to go back to sleep. I'm
Okay.
freaking sleepy.
Um.
I'm up now. I'm gonna go step out and patrol the area.
What time is it?
It is middle of the night.
Yeah. I'm gonna go watch this. Go. Good night. I can't see anything. Anyway.
All right, and Eladon, you go on patrol. Is that what you said?
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Okay. As a 14.
14. You come out on the deck and you look around, and everything seems quiet. The two guards that are out there um, nod to you and let you know that they have been keeping watch all night, and there's not anything that has come up. No giant slugs or cats that you had described to the guard. Um, Everything's pretty quiet.
Okay. I'm just gonna join them, smoke my pipe for a little while
Okay,
until get tired again.
sounds good. Everybody else goes back to bed, I assume.
Yep.
Okay. Vitali, the next morning you get up and the guard is standing next to the court wizard who says, Yes, well, you do understand that this is quite dangerous to send you back in this way. I'm not familiar with the destination, so there is a chance of error.
Excuse me?
Did they not explain to you that it was dangerous to teleport back until the teleportation circle was complete?
a high-ranking wizard. Do you not know what you're doing?
It's not a matter of me knowing what I'm doing, it is knowing the destination. I have never been there, nor have I ever seen it.
You can't get into my mind and find out what it looks like?
No, unfortunately not. But it's a fairly good chance that I will put you back where you came from.
If you don't, will I at least come back in one piece?
Oh, of course.
Good
Not-
enough for me.
Not here,
Right,
wherever
but
you end
I'll
up.
be wherever I am.
Yes,
Whole.
yes.
I guess that's all I can ask for.
All right, are you ready?
Ready as I'll ever be.
Okay. So you've got five carts with horses all tethered to one another, and
And I am the king horse.
yes. So he casts a spell, and you have to hurry through to get all the wagons in. Roll a d100 for me.
Oh boy. 77.
77. Okay. So you appear in in the woods. And you look around and all you see is woods.
Any trails or anything?
Make a perception check.
10.
No, I'm sorry. I misread this chart. 77 puts you right on the glyph.
I had backup plans, just so you know. But okay. So I'm back at camp.
Yes.
Yeehaw! All right.
Yeah. So you come back and you have all these um, uh, supplies that you now have to pay for later.
Yeah. Did at any point anyone explain to Vitali how much that was going to cost?
They did not.
Great. I'm gonna assume it was dummy cheap.
Okay. You didn't ask either, so.
No, I sure as hell didn't.
Fun.
Should have known what he was signing himself up for. Just saying.
Sir Aether's like, oh, it is very good that you came back alive. I'm very, very relieved.
She grins a little bit nervously and does like a thumbs up.
Does the teleportation make a noise, or what happens when they?
So,
she comes back?
there is. So when you teleport out, there is like a glowing in the glyph, and there's like a sound. Um, on somebody teleporting in, there's a small pop.
Okay. So suddenly there's just like a shitload of wagons.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, and luckily, there was nobody like standing there.
Yeah.
When this happens, but yeah. So yeah, what do you guys do?
Well, I help with the wagons because it looks like we have quite a few supplies.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Welcome back, Vitali. We have questions, or rather, Orson has questions.
I have bricks
Bricks.
and lumber and
Bricks?
also some food.
Sprek
we were
is
gonna
very
make
excited
bricks.
about the bricks, by the way.
Who's excited about the bricks?
Sprek, the mason.
Oh, hell yeah. Here you go, man.
Yeah.
Bricks.
So he goes, oh, yeah, and then he starts like taking stock.
Yeah. All right, Sprek. Okay, I guess we can make bricks some other time. Puts away her brick making kit.
Oh.
I just no. Um. Okay. How was your trip?
It was fine. The guards all paid for my ingredients.
Oh, really? That's generous.
Yeah, they did say perhaps that we would have to pay them back, but they were very, very vague on the amount and method. So I would like to leave that up to interpretation.
I like interpretation. There's a lot of answers there.
Anyway, how have things been here?
Apparently, we're haunted.
Mm-hmm.
Haunted?
Slow look to
Haunted.
Oris.
Yes. There was an incident when I was sleeping last night. I had a dream of sorts where a undead, or I'm not even sure how to describe it, but a dead dwarf visited me and brandished an axe, attacking not myself per se, but the hammock I was sleeping in, and I awoke to a tumble out of the hammock because it had been cut. And I've been seeing visions of this dwarf ever since we got out of the mines.
I guess we were wondering if you knew anything about dwarf curses. Maybe your friend does.
Vitali goes like dead silent and looks visibly spooked. You're seeing a dwarf ghost?
Again, it's hard to describe. It hardly seems like a ghost. It seems real, quite physical and there, but then it's not, and I seem to be the only one who's able to see or even perceive it.
Yeah.
She kind of does that face where she goes, "Eee," uh, and then kind of pats you on the head and says, "Well, it was a pleasure working with you."
Extremely helpful, thank you.
Of course, dwarf curses are nothing to mess with.
Oh, no, they really do curse then, huh?
She kind of shrugs. Presumably, you did touch a crown of a dead prince. I imagine that thing didn't come cheap.
Can we
Yes, well,
investigate this crown more?
one of the visions that I saw when we were back at the mines was of that dwarf, whoever he may be, showing me the combination of runes that needed to be pressed to get into that door that we could not get past.
Hmm.
I am of the opinion we need to go back to the mines and finish exploring.
Wait. So the sneaky figure was a dwarf as well?
Yes, presumably the same dead dwarf that has been, for lack of a better word, haunting me.
Can you show me the glyphs that he pressed? Or rather, could you draw the symbols on them?
I remembered the order. Would I be able to draw the specific glyphs in
Make a
the order?
performance check.
Oh, okay. Was never expecting to do this one. Oh, that's a 5.
Yeah, your artistic ability is not in the form of drawing.
We are benching that D20.
Yeah, it's
This is the
Vitaly,
best
you
one I
don't
could.
recognize any of these symbols.
This is gibberish.
You would absolutely recognize these symbols if you saw them again, though.
Well, I still believe we need to get back there sooner rather than later.
You don't think it's at all strange that you saw a dwarf ghost uh punch in a code and then walk through a wall that we know is booby trapped?
Wait,
That
it's
didn't
Well,
cross your mind as a trap even once?
Oh well, I mean.
I mean,
Did you see the door open?
the door did not open, but he did
Well,
physically
there we
press
go.
buttons. He showed me which ones needed to be pressed, and then he moved through the door, which did not open.
He's a ghost.
I'm just saying, if he wished to booby trap us, there might have been a dozen other ways he could have done it.
Take a nap, you should ask him.
That's a good point.
Funny thing, I tried to ask him the last night when he cut my hammock. He didn't seem particularly interested in speaking.
Ah, well, you gave it a shot. Okay.
That sounds a little bit suspicious to me. So if you do end up going back in that mine, I will gladly come with you. However, you will be the one punching that combination into that door.
Which I will gladly do.
Very well.
But again, this should be done sooner rather than later. I'd hope to be able to get out today.
Yeah, what time is it now?
At this point, it's still early morning.
Well, I could grab some things and head out. We don't have to take the carts this time, so.
And
Oh,
we
we
still need
could
some more of
take
the
the.
stones, though, right?
Oh, we do?
No, the stones for
Oh, was that enough
the
to complete it?
it was enough to y'all brought back quite a bit.
Okay. So
Technically, could we use the teleport to get us there?
No. Well,
Oh.
technically, yes, you could use one of the scrolls to teleport to the well.
Oh,
However, if you were to do so, then you wouldn't be able to make a permanent circle because you would not have enough scrolls to finish the year-long
yeah,
process.
let's not do that. Let's not do that.
Fuck them. We don't need to worry about that. Okay, we won't do it.
But without having to worry about deer or carts, we should be able to make it much quicker.
Yes, and I would like to see if we can't see any of these cat creatures to study them. But also anything else. I want to learn more about this damn weird plant infection or whatever.
Not a fan of going back into that mine, but at the same time, the resources would be good if there's still gold left, whatever's in the vault.
Yeah, so we're supposed to deliver that to the king?
So, just to clarify, you guys are meant to be setting up a colony and then finding resources. So, like the gold in the mine, once you have that notated, they'll send miners to help you dig it out. Um, if you had found iron, then they would help you get that as well, in order to help make weapons. Or once y'all's farms get going, any additional food that you guys make can be sent through this circle to bring um, profit back to the colony, which will allow you guys to buy stuff. But it's also being sent back to help the war effort. So some of it is taxed, some of it is for you guys to make money on. But yeah, your objective is to find resources to and as a colony sell those resources back to um, the the kingdom.
Okay. Okay, that clears it up.
So I mean, it's not like y'all are just giving them these resources. It is a there is like monetary
An
in
exchange.
exchange, but the whole idea is that hopefully you guys will be helping supply the war effort.
Well, then we are packing our bags to get back on the road to the well then, I believe.
Okay. Are you taking two wagons again?
I don't believe so. There's no
No.
reason to this time, right?
Yeah, it's more of a expedition for
Okay. So you guys
the
are just
dwarf.
going out yourselves. Excellent. Easy enough then. You guys pack up some supplies in your packs and start heading out.
Some snail
Um,
sandwiches to go.
snail sandwiches to go. Sounds good. You guys it takes you again 3/4 of the day. It's a lot easier now that you know where it is. You have a map. So you guys head out. Um, you don't run into any of the cats as you're going on your path, and as it gets closer to nightfall, you come upon the well.
There she is. Just looks the same as when we left it.
Yep.
Gonna go find that tree that had the hidden lever.
Mhm.
Give it a tug.
Easy enough. It opens.
Suppose
I
we
guess
end. Yeah.
gonna head on in.
Okay. Yeah, everything is as you left it. You don't see any difference. Still stinks.
Make our way towards the door that we couldn't get past.
Okay. The door stands there just as sturdy and ominous as ever.
And I'll look back at the group and I'll say, if you all want to stand back, just in case, I'll understand.
Good.
Yep.
Good that you do. We're supporting you from a distance.
I appreciate it. I'll
Don't blow yourself up, please.
wait for them all to stand back, and then I will push the runes in the order that I remember the spectral image or whatever it was. Push them.
Okay. You hear a loud clanking sound. And then you hear a hissing noise and what appears to be some kind of steam um, seeps out from some of the holes up above. And for a second, you're like, oh, God, I just set off a really bad trap. But then the door opens. And you look inside. And that's where we'll end it for tonight.
Oh, I'm damned.
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll pick it up next week, and we'll see what's inside the vault.
Bye,
Have
everyone.
a
Oh,
good night.
well,
Bye.
Bye.
good night.